My name is Emily Cullen, and I'm the Mescal UL50 Poet in Residence at the University of Limerick's Creative Writing programme. Together with students from the MA in Creative Writing, we're delighted to bring you a series of Espresso Shots of Thought, a project we began last year to explore poetry and poetic process. What inspired me to devise these short segments was a quote by British Indian poet Daljit Nagra, who said that poetry is an espresso shot of thought. So we invite you to relax and enjoy an insightful jolt of poetry from the University of Limerick.
It's no surprise to anybody that our attention spans have been bought and sold. But the good news is, well, is it good news? It's not new. This has been happening for a long time. Distraction has been plaguing us, artists and thinkers and makers alike. In the 1900s, the Austrian poet Rainer Maria Rilke wrote, "We lead our lives so poorly because we arrive in the present always unprepared, incapable, and too distracted for everything." In a world that wants you to consume until you're overfed, depleted, and craving for more, my advice to you is to be curious about this phenomenon and express how it makes you feel. I'm Maeve Abyss, and my espresso shot of thought for you today is this. By following your creative process until you begin to lose steam, you can support your innovative mind by letting it wander without technology doing the work for you. Even when I go to write, which more often than not takes place on a phone or a laptop these days, I've got to first get through an interface which, very much beknownst to me, is tracking and selling my data to companies in exchange for blissful, dopamine-inducing instant access to everything. News articles, YouTube tutorials, the lives of my friends, the lives of my not-so-good friends, and delivery pizza. Yeah, I'm gonna check yes to everything. Check yes to cookies. I mean, who doesn't love cookies? The point is, even when I go to write, to do the very one thing that has helped me to transcend my bodily cage and allow me to exist only as a continuous stream of observable thoughts. Even when I go to write, the one thing that I love to do that frees me up of anxiety, I'm confronted with 55 unopened tabs, a half-watched video on the history of Napoleon, a message from my mom, a message from the Uber Eats guy asking me if I'm awake. You know, it's stressful. And all of a sudden, the steam, the creative flow, it starts to fizzle out. Essentially, when we go to create, we enter the online sphere. Marshall McLuhan once said the medium is the message, but I'm pretty sure Dylan Thomas's typewriter wasn't trying to sell him organic tampons. Research has shown us that we can't multitask for all hell. We aren't supposed to. Paying attention to one thing has always been difficult. So, the next time you have so-called creative block, there's a few things that you can do. Your first idea might be to go into a fit of rage. Go off the grid. Burn your laptop, throw away your phone, take only a notebook made out of sinew with you, and dip a quill-feathered pen into ink and write in solace. Your second idea might be to go all type A. Set up a regimented calendar where you're tracking, you're writing, you make sure you don't bring a phone into your room, a computer, none of that. You are militant, you are writing, you are driven. There's plenty of apps for that. But your third idea might be this. It might be to create in spite of distraction. How do you do that, you might ask? Noting. Noting is something that has been used in Zen Buddhist practice, in recovery from addiction, and in all sorts of cognitive behavioral therapy. When we note a distraction rather than give into it, we say, "Hi, I see you. Welcome. I'm still going to complete my task." So the next time you're in the middle of writing something, maybe you're on a train and your phone goes off in the middle of a very important poem you're writing about pigeons. Stop for a second, write down the distraction, and go back into your flow. Notice it, but don't give it all of your mental energy. And don't, for the sake of all things holy, open it up. Don't open up the notification. Don't open up the email. notice the distraction, and move on. By noticing the way that the human mind is already naturally inclined towards distraction, we can get out of our way and stop beating ourselves up for these things. You might even find that this fractured narrative holds truer to these modern times we're living in. We don't need to demonize our phones, our laptops, and our tablets. Sure, they're distracting, but there's work to be done. Don't let your dreaminess be replaced by the algorithm doing the dream for you. Finally, to close with a quote by our dear friend Rainer Marie Rilke. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves. Like locked rooms and like books that are now written in a very foreign tongue. Do not seek the answers, which cannot be given to you because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer. I'm Maeve Abyss, and that is my espresso shot of thought for you.